hard as a leader when you're burying your people, when they come home in a box, when you have to lower the flags and you found out that they died on the street. We need to get our brothers and sisters back to a place where they're healthy, where they're whole, where they're complete, and they're working or going to school. And that's what I envision, to create hope in them, because somebody believed in me when I was an addict. So I'm hoping what we can do is give them hope that somebody does care, that there's love in the room, that people are kind, and by working collectively with each other, that we can see this happen and save lives and get people off the streets into homes and get them cleaned up and being good members of society, working and showing their kids and their nieces and nephews that there is a better way.
Tansi, hello everybody. Sean McDonald, the Métis Man here. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
I was born a Métis, born on Métis land, raised on a settlement, proud to be a Métis man. Well, today I work in white man's world. I'm married to a Métis girl.
Tansi, everybody. It's Sean McDonald, the Métis Man here. And today I have a special guest with me, my Métis woman, Cora and I.
Hello.
And today we're off to a very special event into Edmonton, Alberta. Today is November 5th, 2025. It's a special day for me as my baby boy turned 20 today, Dylan. You've all met Dylan on the channel and that. And yesterday was another special day for me. It was my woman here, Cora's birthday yesterday. I won't say her age because I'll get a punch here.
No.
But anyway, we're going to a very special event today in Edmonton. It's called From the Heart, and it's put on by, what did you say?
Tribal Chiefs Ventures Incorporated.
Tribal Chiefs Ventures Incorporated, yes, thank you very much. And again, my niece Chantel Cardinal, whom you met for the last time for Feed the Homeless in Calgary. She organized that, so she let us know that this is going on today, and we're on our way to go and capture some of that and talk to some of the people there and that and get their stories and capture some video for you. So yeah, hasta multa, and you come and join us for today. It's supposed to be a little warmer than it was in Calgary. We almost froze our chisks off last time there, Dean and my buddy Dean and I, Calgary, but today is going to be a warm, balmy +6 in Edmonton here, which is a far cry, as long as the wind stays away. Like Calgary is very, very windy, so
Yes.
yeah. Anything you want to add there?
I'm just looking forward to this. As I told my Métis man here, this is the first for me, and it's something that it has deep meaning in my heart, and it's something I wanted to do for a long time. So I'm happy that I'm able to come and do this for the first time with him, and I look forward to what they're going to be doing for our less fortunate brothers and sisters. There's so many out there that need so much. There's supports in place, but there's not enough. So we know that that's been an issue for a long time, and the displacement that they're currently facing. So it'll be something of an experience to be able to go and do that.
Yes, no, it definitely will. So yeah, please come and join us in that, and we, as we attend, and meet some of our less fortunate brothers and sisters. We'll catch you there.
Samaga.
Here we are, folks. If you can look to your right here, you'll see what we call the old barn, the old Edmonton Coliseum, where we came and watched many hockey games, the Oilers, Oil Kings, and a lot of concerts, of course. Had lots of happy pop here, and a lot of good times spent in here. And I think it's up for schedule for demolition now, so, which is unfortunate to see, but I guess that's humanity, right? Always progressing ahead, or what we think is ahead sometimes, but there you have it. Now we got the beautiful Rogers place to do all the same things we did in this one, but a lot more fond memories here. And up to our left here, we're going to be passing it, is the Commonwealth Stadium. And that's where we hold, of course, the football games, Edmonton Eskimos, or whatever they're called now. What are they called now? It's Edmonton Elks, yes. I'm not a football fan, so, but I do remember the Eskimos' name. And yeah, a lot of, again, great concerts there. Actually, I can see the police over there. That was a good time. And no, I don't mean the cops, the fuzz, the smog ends, but the band, it was really good. One thing I want to talk about before we get there is the stigma of our Indigenous brothers and sisters, that are on the streets, that are homeless. We have them in our home community as well. But lots, of course, in the major urban centers such as Edmonton and Calgary. And, going back to the stigma of, they're just bums, no good for nothing, get a job, all that stuff. But there's, for almost everybody out there that's, in these, in the environment that they're in, there's a story behind it as to why they're there. And, and I always say residential school is one of them as well. And better make room here. And yeah, residential schools, and people say with that, get over it, that's happened how long ago? But no, the last one closed in 1996. And it affects, generations after the ones that were in there. Like I always say, my mushroom was in residential school, and it affected his kids, my dad and his siblings, and it, definitely affected them, and of course it's affecting us grandkids as well too. So there's stuff like that, and the unemployment rate, stuff like that, and immigration. I'm not trying to sound racist or something like that, but immigration, the mass immigration that we've been getting in the country, that affects lots, not only for our people, but all people of Canada, and especially the youth. So there's always a story behind somebody that's having troubles in their lives, and every one of us is going to have some kind of trouble in their life, and we just got to get through it, right, and help each other to get through it. And anything else you want to add to that?
No, just seeing the increase in the populations that are using supportive services like food banks. A lot of people are just, maybe one paycheck or less away from being in that situation.
That's right.
The other thing is there's a lot of youth as well that are on the streets, and they don't have the experience, life experience that the older population does. So that puts them at even higher risk, and we see that. And there's a lot of trauma, a lot of experiences in life that we don't know about that these people have been through. Some of them do have home communities they can go to, but for whatever their reasons are, that's not an option to them.
Yeah.
I've also had family members myself facing homelessness or choosing to be on the streets. Some that struggle with addictions and that. So there's a lot of factors that contribute to people being in this situation. It's not just one. When we hear the statement, oh, they just need to get a job, that's not a solution. at all, because there are multiple things and barriers that they're facing to even get employment,
Yeah.
let alone that's not going to solve the problem of it. There's deeper issues that have to be dealt with. So
There
that's
is.
my experience, and I've worked a lot with people that are going through these situations with mental health addictions and homelessness. I've worked directly with them for many years, so all the experience that I bring to it, I bring the heart, and that's why I'm here today too.
No, that's good, and I'm glad you're able to make it with me today, my woman. I'm going to flip this camera around just to show where we're at here, going into downtown Edmonton. We're about a click away from the fan park where it's being held, and there's parking here, but that's a little far to walk in with all the gear. But yeah, you can see downtown Edmonton. To our right, I believe, is the law courts. Yeah, exactly.
The law court building is there, and it's changed in the past 5, 10, 15 years with the illicit drug use that I've seen myself coming down into this area of Edmonton, and it's not the same city anymore, and we see the consumption sites, the safe consumption sites that they have, but there's no simple solution to that as well, so it's just something to be aware of when you're coming into this area.
Yeah. No, it's easy for, many people that do point their finger, you Indians are nothing but drunks and get free money and you just spend it away and drink it up or drug it up or whatever. But no, that's not the case. I always tell people, educate yourself, do your homework, even watch our videos. We try to educate as much as we can on this channel, but don't just be like the rest of the people and think that about our people or anybody that's homeless or going through a rough time in their life. Some don't get out of it. I've had my own family that were into that and fell into that way of life and it's tough to get out. But we all have our addictions, we all have our skeletons in the closet, as they say, but you got to deal with them, talk about it, and face your demons and stuff like that. But just remember, there's always something that puts somebody in that predicament. It doesn't just happen. So. And here is the new Rogers Place. I just showed you the old Coliseum, but here's Rogers Place. So. I'm trying to figure out where they're set up here. Have a look around. It might be in here.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's two set up there.
There is, eh?
Yeah, that's our sister right here. So,
Okay, right in there. Let's turn this camera.
This is totally the area before this big Rogers was built. This is where a lot of the supportive services and people will come and access, from my memory. But a lot of them have been kind of pushed out of this area, and they have to go even farther for services if they can even access them. So that makes it increasingly difficult for them to even get what they need to let them survive in the situations they're in out here.
It does. I know in Laklabish we have that homeless shelter now that was built to help the people out, which I think was a good thing, but you get all the negative naysayers talking about that, and yeah, I know there's negative issues that come with that, such as crime and whatever that come with that, because when you're addicted like that, you'll do almost anything to get your next hit or whatever they call it, right? So yeah, but still, I really take my hats off to Laklabish County and Métis Nation of Alberta and whoever else was involved in building that structure and maintaining it. The people that volunteer there now, the businesses that donate to it and that. So it's good to see. Does it need improvement? Well, of course, everything can be improved. We just got to find a way to help our people to get off what they're on and that. And but yeah, the people that are on that, they need mental help, mental awareness. They need to be taught ways of you know, to get them educated so they can find employment, stuff like that. There's ways of doing it, not just scoffing on them and calling them down. Your first time downtown?
Yeah, well, walking around this area for sure.
Yeah.
It's been years since I
Wind sure picked up.
was in a purple.
Here's Rogers for those that never seen it. There's the casino side. Edmonton Tower. There's your lineup. People are lined up to coming in. Oh, here we go. But like I say, it's very windy. Very windy today, but we're going inside, so that'll be good. There's Rogers Place. Hi, thank you. Good morning, good morning. Well, this is way warmer than Calgary was outside. Hi.
How are you?
If y'all remember Calgary when we were there, it was outside and it was cold, windy. But here, look at this beautiful tent they have here. And yeah, I'm not sure. We'll find out if they rented this or if the city or Rogers Place donated this for this cause. But it's beautifully and warm out here. So nice and warm. Heaters are going and stuff. And yeah, keep everybody warm today. Hi. We're gonna come back for interviews, so.
Some of the pictures came out.
No, I'm gonna get a different lens for you too.
I thank each of you for coming here today. You know, life is very struggling for the people that are on the inner city here in Edmonton. And with the cold weather coming, you know, prayers to each and every one of you that the door opens for you. You know, prayers for you that you could find, you know, a place to call home one day. You know, and I want to thank, of course, you know, the different organizations, the Hope, the Mission, the Mustard Seed, the Boyle Streets, you know, the people, the Niganons, the ones that try and help our people. You know, as a former addict myself, I had to do the work. As a former addict, that I had to look in the mirror and really ask myself, am I happy? I wasn't happy with myself at that time. And it's very lonely and it's very sad. But I just wish nothing but I just wish nothing but good things for each and every one of you, because you know it takes one person to believe in you, and I believe in you. We believe in you, and all the people that are coming, and we're all on our own special journey, our own pathways, you know, trying to do this thing we call life. You know, so I just want to share with each and every one of you, welcome, you know, get you out of the cold, get you a hot meal, you know, get you some resources, you know, get you, you know, some essentials that you need. It's not the end all, fix all, you know, but we want to let you know that we believe in you. You know, there's a word that they call love that we all have in us, that we all have to use with each other. The world can use more lateral love, lateral kindness. You know, the world today, you know, you look out throughout the world, the amount of war that's going on, you know, and the power each country is trying to possess over each other, boiled down into each country and each province fighting. And then you look at each level of government and then back into our nations and the amount of fighting that we have. And also in families, there's fighting. You know, so I want to ask Creator to blanket us, to shield us for today, to make room in our heart that we're able to be happy, even for it's a short time, because it feels good. You know, and I was given this tobacco, you know, to share a prayer, you know, and I'll just step to the side, you know, because, you know, we're going to ask the Creator to bless us. We're going to tell Him we're thankful for today. We're going to ask Him to bless all of us that are here. We're going to ask Him to bless the food so we can feed you. And we're going to ask Him to bless our vehicles and our walks, our trails, you know, and our home fires. And most importantly, we're going to ask Him for a blessing for each and every one of you, for something good to come our way and your way. So with that, I greet you all in a good way. We ask the Creator to bless each and every one of you, and welcome each and every one of you to this event. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for coming to be part of our event, to make it a success. Because when we win, we all win. And as human beings, we need to reach out and give a hand up. And you know, that's what we're hoping here to do today. So with that, thank you. So I'll just share a few words.
We're a huge contributor to organizing this event is the Oilers Entertainment Group, for allowing us to use their venue, you know, for folks to come in out of the cold, warm up, have a hot meal. So if you could join me in you know, acknowledging the Oilers Entertainment Group, the Oilers, go Oilers. It's a huge thank you to the Oilers Entertainment Group. Thank you. Enjoy the food. We'll open up the food now, and you can grab some chili and bannock, and feel free to join us. Just some information about the what's going on in the merchandise CCAN. They're helping folks get laminated Indian status cards. So we have access to the Beaver Lake, Cold Lake, Frog Lake, Heart Lake, and Kihiwin ban lists. So if you're from one of those nations, they can help you. What's required for status cards is a photo ID. If you have no ID, they require a guarantor, so a worker that can vouch for who you are. If they're not from one of the nations listed, they require a membership letter from their band. Our staff can assist them in calling to obtain their full name on the registry, registration number, and date of birth. So what's required for the status cards, the SCIS, those are the hard cards, is government ID is a must. Drivers, learners, Alberta ID, Alberta Healthcare passport. ID will be mailed to an address provided once application is sent.
Thank you, Dale. So we do have some IDs. Want you all to have a good day. That's what this is about, is that we want to give back and want to make sure that everyone here has a good day. So what Chief Greg was talking about was addictions. and I'm clean and sober now. I've been over 13 years, and 6 years, 6 months, and 1 day alcohol-free. And honestly, it's 1 day at a time. Thank you. So if you guys are going through a rough time, this song's for you. I wrote this song for National Addictions Awareness Week, just to kind of raise a little bit of awareness about what it's like to be an addict. And I treat it like a sickness. It's not like your common cold, but I think the one thing that we all go through when we go through our addictions is pain. I know I went through a lot in my life to get to where I'm at. And like I said, you guys, it's honestly just 1 day at a time. So this one's called The Addict. Hopefully you guys like this one. There's no genie at the bottom of that bottle you're sitting. Light won't smoke off another. Ain't really quite cool. Hurt the ones we love the most with the words that cut so deep. It's a hard pill to swallow to love an addict like me. Work my fingers to the bone, I do too darn much. Saying yes to please the ones in life that don't do much. I'm waiting on my return for all of my good deeds. It's a hard pill to swallow to love an addict like me. Well, I'm down at rock bottom, I'll never reach the top. One more drink and one more smoke, this time I swear I'll stop. Yes, I know you'll love me until this habit's kicked. I'm an addict, I'm an addict, I'm an addict, that's it. Work my fingers to the bone, I do too much. Saying yes to please the ones in life that don't do much. Smoking all my pain away with a few puffs of weed. It's a hard pill to swallow to love an addict like me. I'm down at rock bottom, I'll never reach the top. One more drink and one more smoke, this time I swear I'll stop. Yes, I know you'll love me until this habit's kicked. I'm an addict, I'm an addict, I'm an addict, that's it. I'm an addict, I'm an addict, I'm an addict, that's it. One more line won't hurt me, this might be my last. Someone take this pain from me, just forget I asked. Down that rock bottom, I'll never reach the top. One more drink and one more smoke, this time I swear I'll stop. Yes, I know you'll love me until this habit's kicked. I'm an addict, I'm an addict, I'm an addict, that's it. I'm an addict, I'm an addict, please help me, I'm sick. I'm an addict, I'm an addict, I'm an addict, that's sick. Thank you guys so much.
Tansi, my name is Cora and we're coming here today, Wednesday, November 5th, 2025, from Edmonton, Alberta. We're at the From the Heart, giving back to the community here with Tribal Chiefs Ventures. Today, they're putting this on for our brothers and sisters here that are on the streets of Edmonton. And I would like to speak to our Chief Greg Desjardins here from Frog Lake First Nation, who's part of this.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Tansi. Seminananas Kamagutawino. I just give my gratitude to the Creator, and being part of the tribal chiefs. The 6 bands in northeastern Alberta that belong to the tribal chiefs: Coal Lake, Kihiwan, Frog Lake, Heart Lake, Beaver Lake, and Goodfish, Whitefish Lake. And to put on this event and to be a small part of it is it gives us all a good feeling. To give back to the people who are struggling, with the basic needs of food and shelter. So to get the people off the streets, to get them into a warm place like this, donated by the Oilers Entertainment Group and the Edmonton Oilers. We thank you, from all our brothers and sisters that are joining us here today, and all the ones from the Six Nations, and across Turtle Island. We thank you for your generosity, and to give back to the people and to give them hope is huge. In life, many of us come through addictions and different traumas, abuse, and we all have our stories. And what we're doing here is we're trying to help our brothers and sisters of the inner city find their way. We're hoping a door will open for them. We're trying to give them hope, offer them our love and our kindness, and just offer them a hand up.
Yes. And I see that here today. We have many different available agencies that are here to help our brothers and sisters. The food is amazing. I see teepee treats here, Indigenous cuisine that's providing chili and bannock, hot coffee. The tent is beautiful here, nice and warm. It's a cold day on the street there today. It's very windy, so that chill is hard to get out. With myself, I'm dressed in a big warm coat, and I really feel from my heart for the people that are out there in this type of weather. So to put this event on, Greg, to your knowledge, how long did it take for planning to get all the agencies together to get the venue to work with tribal chiefs? Was that a big, long process, or how did that come about?
It took a number of months, but one of our staff members at Tribal Chiefs Health Director, Dale Steiner, attended an event similar to one in Calgary. And he connected with his band member, Chantel Cardinal. So we seconded her to help us organize this event. And it took a number of months, but through prayer and hope and a lot of networking and meetings, you do see probably a dozen organizations around here who are offering different resources, from housing to training, to clothing, to toiletries, to basic needs, and even status cards. They're doing laminate status cards in that sea can there. So it's our job to try and pick our people up, to elevate them to a place where they have some sort of identity, so they're not getting such a rough time in banks. And and it's unfortunate that our people are looked at in a different way from the mainstream society lens. But we are all human beings, and I thank the organizations that are here, from the Tribal Chiefs table, from the board of directors, our staff. We thank you all for coming to support, to walk with us, to assist us, and to make this from the heart a realization. It makes me feel good. I see people coming in. I seen people dancing earlier. We have Jared Lee providing entertainment as well. Of course, teepee treats, and and Edmonton Oilers and the Oilers Entertainment Group. Thank you, Tim Shipton and your team, and thank you, the Oilers Group, for allowing this great venue. And it's nice and warm in here, and even if it's temporary, it gives people a time to get out of the cold, to refocus, to regroup, and to get a meal in their bellies, and to hopefully make a connection to a better life down the road.
Yes, definitely. And what we see here, it's like you said, it's a temporary thing, but it creates so much hope for them. And you and I spoke about that feeling of hope earlier, and how we can give back to our brothers and sisters and give them that hope again, to show that people care, and our own people caring for each other. That's been our way traditionally. We've always looked after our own in our communities, within our areas where we lived. We always helped each other out. So just that vision of hope, giving them that back. I had spoke with a couple elders here that are smudging today, providing the smudge, and they're speaking about how all the brothers and sisters are drawn to their table. They're coming to smudge, and I realized how often do they get to do that out here? They don't get to practice that very often. They don't get access to that very often. So it's giving them that hope again and bringing them back to their culture here, and being able to provide that is just something extraordinary. And I think that is so wonderful. For myself, it's my first time to this event. Métis Man went in Calgary. He attended to the one last year in Calgary, that he has a video of it on his channel. So just speak more, I guess, Cousin Greg, to the hope it creates and what it means to you from your heart to be able to do this for our people.
Well, I just want to share with everybody. August 21st, I celebrated 15 years sobriety. You know, former addict, alcoholic. You know, I once was an addict. You know, and so I understand, you know, what they're going through. Many people don't want to be on the street, you know, through COVID and through loss of job and, you know, being forced to have credit. And a lot of people don't even have credit to get a home, which is a basic need. And, you know, what this means is huge, because we have to believe in each other. And a lot of the people that are on the street, there's a family out there. They're a family in the inner city, you know, and it means so much, because, you know what, it's hard as a leader when you're burying your people, when they come home in a box, when you have to lower the flags and you found out that they died on the street. You know, all the people, and I understand hearing the stories and seeing some people with amputated legs here, you know, and that's from freezing outside. And that's from being forced outside. Yes, some of it is a choice. Yes, some of it is an addiction. But yes, some of it is that the city of Edmonton and the provincial government have to find a way to help our people, which are human beings. And yes, 2/3 of the people are Indigenous. You know, you need to even put a cap on rent. You know, so I call on the provincial government to look at these things, to put a cap on rent, and look at low-income housing. You look at the refugees that were brought in that put a strain on all services, even housing, and even the jobs that have been taken by the people that come over as immigrants, that put a strain on all of the people in Canada here. And nobody talks about those things. But now it puts more strain on the Indigenous people. And, you know, collectively, the City of Edmonton, the Province of Alberta, Confederacy, and the Treaty 678, we want solutions. We don't want to bury our people, and we want to be part of the solution, because Indigenous people were never the problem here. You know, we were always resilient. We had our own economy. But what this means is we need to get our brothers and sisters back to a place where they're healthy, where they're whole, where they're complete, and they're working or going to school. And that's what I envision, you know, to create hope in them, because somebody believed in me when I was an addict. So I'm hoping what we can do is give them hope that somebody does care, that there's love in the room, that people are kind. And by working collectively with each other, that we can see this happen and save lives and get people off the streets into homes and get them cleaned up and being good members of society, working and showing their kids and their nieces and nephews that there is a better way.
Yes, definitely. And you made so many good points there, Chief Greg, about the whole situation. We're in a crisis situation. We have been for quite some time here. And unfortunately, the ones that are suffering the most at it is our own people. And I'm very proud to say that a lot of our nations here that come together to put this on today had a call out today for anybody that was out here from those nations to come, and they would assist them with obtaining their services there. So now we spoke earlier as well. Some of our neighboring communities to the northeast, we are experiencing this as well. We're seeing it hit us in the more rural areas, the smaller towns. So personally from Laklavish area, we have a lot of homeless people out there, people that are houseless. And there's so many barriers to that. You were talking, Cousin Greg, earlier about the barriers to that, credit score, references, all these things you need to in order to get a home, which causes so much of a barrier to our people. And how are they supposed to get past that? How are they supposed to obtain these homes for themselves? our people shouldn't be just constricted to their nations. They should be able to go and work and live freely wherever they'd like to be, whether it's in a city, an urban center, or somewhere in a small town. But branching out to some of our more northeastern communities could be a possibility. We were talking about Laklabish, St. Paul area as well. We're getting an increase in our brothers and sisters out there as well, facing the same thing because we are having increasing rent. There's an increase in cost of living everywhere. Myself, I'm feeling it as a single parent. I have children that I'm raising, and thankfully I have a home on my home settlement. But a lot of people are not able to get that, even within their own nation. The assumptions that our people get everything for free is totally wrong, and that is just crippling, because that's not true at all. So to you, Cousin Greg, if we can branch this out, what would your vision be to see in our more rural areas?
I think the rural towns like St. Paul, Laklabish, Lloydminster, Bonnyville, and Coal Lake, there are the Native and Métis Friendship Centers. So I think collectively with the nations that work with and around these towns, that we could see something like this develop. And working collectively with the town councils and then the friendship centers again, that we could actually put on an event and give our people hope and get them out of the cold, get them a meal, and with a similar, setup here, and make them feel that people do care.
Yes.
So I think in the next few weeks and maybe after Christmas, if it need be, that we can come together and maybe do a jacket drive, boot drive, toque and mitts, and look at these people as human beings.
Yes.
That we need to look, by being wealthy through money and a mortgage and having a business and diamonds and gold. You can't take that stuff when you pass and go to the spirit world. The world needs more love, more kindness, and we need to work together. There's so much lateral violence that happens on social media. There's so much lateral violence that happens in our communities. Even the province here talking about separation. You look at people fighting the different leaderships in First Nations in Treaty 6, 7, and 8. And I want to share my love, and I just want to pray for good things for those people who are angry in their heart. And I want to ask a blessing for them, that they find their way, that they find happiness and clear happiness around their heart. I've been in leadership for 13 years, and I've seen a lot of death. I've seen a lot of good things, but us as First Nations people, that's not our way. We're kind, we're loving, we're respectful, and we need to get back to where we were and what Creator has given us as a people. And I just wanted to share some of those things, with everybody, that the world does need more love. Canada needs more love. Alberta needs more love. The First Nations need more love. We always want to pull each other down. But what this does, it makes me feel good in the heart. And it's not political. This is the human thing to do. Is we're fortunate to have a job. We're fortunate to have sobriety. We're fortunate to have family. We're fortunate to have our senses. We're fortunate to have a roof. We're so fortunate to have a vehicle. We're fortunate to have health. There's a lot of things that we got to be grateful for. So for those listening, we want to offer nothing but good things to each and every one of you, from the tribal chiefs, from this event, the Confederacy of Treaty Chiefs, and wish nothing but good things for your home fire. And to the people that are homeless, and struggling in inner city, that a door will open for them. And with Christmas coming, that we maybe can put on another event and feed the brothers and sisters of downtown, because many people get together as families. What do they do when it's minus 30? Where do they go when it's minus 30? So these are some of the things that we need to think. We need to give them hope. And, I'm thankful to be able to share some words here today, because, as human beings, the world does need more love. And I offer my love and my kindness to each and every one of you out there who can hear my voice, and wish you nothing but good things. And I thank you for allowing me some time to share what this event means, what it means to me, kind of how I look at it, and maybe moving forward to the rural areas. And just giving people hope is important, because somebody believed in me when I was an addict, and I believe somebody believed in you, and we had the services. We had to put in the work, don't get me wrong, and just hope that someday that our brothers and sisters can come home to ceremony and come home to our respective First Nations and Métis settlements and communities and towns, and not come home in a box.
And that's the hardest part of it for our communities. We've been experiencing that so much lately. So those are very good closing remarks to share. I appreciate the time you gave us, Cousin Greg, to come and speak on behalf of where you feel from your heart and on behalf of all the nations you represent. This is Grand Chief of Treaty 6 as well. So Greg's done a lot of wonderful things in his home community, and I can see and witness that. And I've heard so much good here about him today. So I thank you so much, Kineskumton, for you to come and do this with me, Cousin Greg, and everybody else listening. And yes, to all those out there, our brothers and sisters, there is hope. Hopefully you can find that hope. Hopefully you can find that person that'll bring you up. And that's what we're doing today, is trying to bring some of these people up. And if you can help some of them, that would be amazing. And there's always hopefully a home to come to eventually in our own nations and settlements. So Ixamaga, thank you.
And one of the songs that really gets me is every time I come home, I have to listen to Alberta Bound. And it just gets me right in the feels. So I'm going to share that song with you. And this one's by another Canadian country music artist. His name is, like I said, Paul Brandt. And if you guys like your music, by all means, this song gets me right in the feels. This one's called Alberta Bound. 'Cause I said 40 miles to Canada in my truck, tore across Montana, Ian Dyson singing lonesome lullaby. And so I cranked up the radio, 'cause there's just a little more to go before I cross the border at that sweet grass line. I'm Alberta bound, this piece of heaven that I found. Rocky Mountains and black fertile ground, everything I need beneath that big blue sky. It doesn't matter where I go, this place will always be my home. Yeah, I've been Alberta bound for all my life. And I'll be
Good morning again, it's me. I'd like to introduce Chief Kelsey Jacko from the Cold Lake First Nations.
Good day, everybody. Hello. Good music here we have, you know. Hey, I'm a chief of Cold Lake First Nations. I grew up on the streets. That's my home away from home. You know, I never ever thought I'd be chief, let alone move home. But it's always a struggle, you know, to help our off-reserve members when the funding is not adequate, you know. It's getting harder and harder for our people out there with the cost of living, rent and everything, food, everything's going up. But as chiefs, we do try to help off our off-reserve members. You know, where do we go when we can't go home? You know, I just like thank all the people that try to help us. You know, we try to do initiatives for affordable housing and whatnot. You know, as chief, I like to say yes all the time, but sometimes I have to say no.
And I will tell me.
You know,
Okay, sure. Thank you.
I used to live on the streets at one time, had nowhere to go. Just trying to make the best of things, live in natural law, just to survive. But we are working as chiefs, as united, to help off our off-reserve members, you know. In prayers for the ones who go out there. I don't want anybody losing any limbs or anything, you know, I just want our people to be healthier. But every day is a struggle. So I just give prayers out there, you know, just take it day by day. You know, life is what you make it. If I can get out of the rudders, so can you. So life is what you make it, so I just pray for the best of every one of you. And, you know, I'll try for the best of our people and for all our homeless people, because I know where I came from. It's a part of me, so. But thank you, that's all I guess I can say. I'll just get the magician back up to sing us some good tunes. It's pretty rocking. Maybe I might have to invite him to our treaty days to come sing here. You know, yeah. But thank you again, and thank you for everybody that's participating in this and helping out our people wherever they're at. So I'd like to give them a round of applause. Woo, woo, woo! Must-see show, everybody.
But this song has a lot to do with not giving up and having enough persistence to not give up. This one's called I Don't Back Down, and I released it last year. It's on my latest album. It has a lot to do with hockey and love. My love for the sport. This one's called I Don't Back Down. My life was over, I was only 16. The day I heard I got cut, I didn't make the hockey team. I spent the summer slopping pucks against our barn. I still remember the way it felt when I slipped that jersey on. I don't back down, I don't quit. God gave me more grit than sense. There's a will, there's a way, that's just how I was raised. When I found something that I want, I dig in and I hold on. I might give out, oh, I don't back First time I saw you with your friends at the bar, you were way out of my league and playing it hard. I think I asked you out for 6 weeks straight, but look at you sitting here next to me today. 'Cause I don't back down, I don't quit. God gave me more grit than sense. There's a will, there's a way, and that's just how I was song's for you guys out there. Anybody going through a rough time, don't give up. There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Tansi everybody, Sean McDonald, 80 Man here, and we're still here at the great event here. Actually, here's a flyer from the heart, brought to you by Tribal Chiefs, and I'm here with Dale Steinhauer. And welcome, Dale.
Thank you.
And so yeah, that's your Steinhauer. So from which reserve?
So my late father was from Saddle Lake, and relocated when he married my mom to Goodfish. So that's where I grew up.
Really?
Yeah.
Why I'm intrigued because my cookum was Evangeline Steinhauer from Saddle Lake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's got to be a tie in there somewhere. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then my musher moved everything over to Kikino, the settlement, right? So yeah, no, that's good to know. Yes.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself, Dale, and what you represent, what your title is, and that.
So currently I am the health advisor for the Tribal Chief Venture Tribal Council.
Okay.
I've kind of been lucky and fortunate enough to be trusted with the co-CEO title while our recruitment for the CEO happens.
Okay. Awesome. And so what else? You guys putting on this adventure, obviously. Which reserves are all involved? Which First Nations?
So the member First Nations of Tribal Chief Ventures are Heart Lake First Nations, Beaver Lake Cree Nation, Whitefish Lake First Nation 128, otherwise known as Goodfish Lake.
Yes.
We have Cold Lake First Nations, Kihiwin Cree Nation, and Frog Lake First Nations.
Wow, so that's 6 of them, right? Oh, that's awesome. How long have they been kind of amalgamated, or?
Well, the Tribal Council has been in existence, I think, probably from the late 70s. But Tribal Chief Ventures, I believe, is in the 90s.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, that's great. And how many events have they put on, such as this one?
This is our first one. This spring, I was fortunate enough to attend the G4 Tribal Council does this for the homeless down in Calgary. So I was able to attend that session. So I asked and thought, you know what, maybe we can do one for our folks here in Edmonton.
That's good to see, because I was actually in attendance last year with G4. Chantel Cardinal is my niece, and she invited me down there, and she said, Uncle, come up again this year. We're doing one in Edmonton right away. I said, oh, that'd be great. And so I didn't know it was the first one. I thought there was one held before previous in Edmonton, right? And I was telling Sean.
Yeah, this is our inaugural event.
And so I told Chantel last year, I said, I wouldn't mind to see something like this even in Lac-La-Biche. We got a huge Indigenous population there, right? And like I was saying to my woman Cora coming in here, and we're doing our kind of our pre-interview video coming in, and a lot of our people, we have issues to deal with, right? And people want to stereotype us and say, oh, they're just the drunken Indians, that all the type of thing. But until you walk in our shoes and know the past, such as residential school and stuff like that, what put some of us people here, right? People just see, well, they're lazy, they don't want to work, they get this free money, blah, blah, blah. And it irritates me to keep hearing that, right? And that's why I love attending stuff like this and talking to the people and such as yourself to straighten that narrative out, right? With the Mumiao and the people that just don't know. They got to be educated, right?
Absolutely.
I tell the story over and over again in many of my interviews, but my mushroom was in residential school. And he was quite young. And he was beaten. He ran away. They caught him. They brought him back. They beat him again. And he's seen a lot of things, right? And he finally ran away. He's from the Big Lake, and he ran to the States, and he hid out there for a while till he's older. Come back to this country, and then what does he do? He joins the war and goes fight for this country in World War I, right? But people don't know that. But it affected his kids, my dad and his siblings. How could a man such as my mushroom know love to teach it to his kids, right? So, and that has that trickle-down effect, generation after generation. And a lot of us, I beat my addiction, almost 5 years ago now. But a lot of us aren't that fortunate to get out of that, right? And so tell me a bit about what do you think about that and the stereotype that's going around, with our Indigenous people that are homeless and that.
Well, and I think that it's a testament to what we're trying to do here. We understand that trauma goes hand in hand with our people, our brothers and sisters that are on the street.
Yes.
And, you know, while we're not, you know, picking and choosing who we're going to support, we're actually more than willing to understand that trauma happens to everybody, and we just want everybody to have a good day. In that spirit of reconciliation, that, you know, we're going to do as much as we can. You know, we reached out to as many people as we could to come and support our brothers and sisters on the street that, you know, are unhoused.
Yes. And tell me a little bit about the jersey you're wearing. You know, when I was in Calgary last year, it wasn't that cold. Like Celsius-wise, I think it was only like maybe -5, -6. But there was such a strong wind, and everything was outdoors downtown Calgary. It was cold. It was freezing.
Yeah.
So when Chantel invited me, she didn't tell me about the tent net. So we come fully dressed in that, and I was telling Cora when we were walking up by Rogers Place, I said, I'm wondering if did Tribal Ventures, you know, rent the place, or was it donated or whatever? So tell me a bit about that and why you're wearing that jersey.
Well, I'm wearing the jersey in honor of the Oilers Entertainment Group, who were gracious enough and more than willing to donate the space. I mean, all the you know, the environmental services, so garbage, recycling, all of that stuff.
Really?
They were going to also donate security, but when they found out that we had hired trauma-informed security company to complement them, they kind of took a stand back and saying, you know, these are your people, you understand these people, and said, you know, we trust in you know, what you're trying to do. So it's a huge shout out to the Oilers and the Oiler Entertainment Group for donating the space, because we didn't know if we were going to have 6 inches of snow on the ground, or it was going to rain, or I mean, we're lucky that it is cold, but I mean, we've got a nice warm space for you know, for all of our folks to come down and support our brothers and sisters on the street.
Exactly. No, that's good. That's good. And my hat's off again to the Oilers as well. And tell me a little bit more about the other sponsors that are involved, those volunteers and stuff like that. We want to give a shout out to.
Sure. The staff of the Confederacy of Treaty 6 were more than willing to step up. We hauled everything. They more than graciously brought their trucks, and we brought everything down here, because we're trying to be cost effective and make sure that, you know, if we have the opportunity, we're stretching that penny as far as we can go, and, you know, not paying for trucking and all of that stuff. So volunteerism has been the backbone of this.
For sure.
So the Confederacy, Child Welfare, Tribal Chief Child and Family West, there's 15 folks 15 groups that came to support. So, and I couldn't name them all.
No, that's fine. I'll talk to Chantel later. We'll get that list and that. But you know, you're right. You know, I do a lot of events myself as well, and I attend a lot of events. And absolutely nothing can be done without the sponsors and the volunteers and the organizers such as yourself. You know, so my hat's off to everybody involved. You know, and it's good to see something like this in a warm facility such as this to help our people. And like you say, like it might be just for one day, but it gives somebody hope. You know, and they get a good hot meal, pat on the back. You know, and kinship, which is the biggest thing, especially for Native people, is kinship.
Absolutely.
You know, we love to visit, we love to talk, we love, you know what I mean? And when you're all alone in the streets like that, that's gone, right? So,
And that was really important that we had as many folks come out as we did. You're right. It's about kinship. It's the way that our people gather, and there's usually food involved and laughter and entertainment. So that's kind of what we wanted to incorporate in this event.
Yes. And you know yourself, natives, when you go visit a native's house, doors are open, the food's on the table, the tea is made, right? And sit down and we talk and we visit and we eat, right? And it's, you get that feeling when you come in here, right? And it's so good to see and feel, right? So,
and I'm very honored that when we pitched the idea, both my co-CEO Deb Lawrence and I pitched it to the chiefs of TCV, that they were more than supportive and saying, let's do this. If we have funding to be able to do this for our brothers and sisters, let's do it. And we're not going to be like I said, we're not going to pick and choose just those people from our Six Nations. If we're doing it for everybody.
Yeah. No, that's good. And again, my hat's off to all of you. And there's any talks about doing another one, follow-up one?
Well, the talk is, we have been talking. This is the first of 4 events that we're doing.
Oh, wow.
This one is around the unhoused. Next week we're doing a forum on inclusive spaces for our 2S LGBTQIA brothers and sisters. So we're doing that at the Doubletree.
Okay.
And then TCV has a Christmas party.
Really?
And then we're doing training for our Indian residential school, Indian registries clerks from all across Alberta.
Oh, really?
So we've been tasked.
Oh, wow,
so we've got one event after another, in addition to doing our own jobs. And
yes.
So
and you kind of touched on one of my next questions there about the residential schools. Is there any talk maybe of doing something for not only recognition, but with me, I went to Kamloops as well. I went to the residential school there, and I did a little quick video there. But to bring awareness to that, right? Because it does affect our people deeply and immensely, and it runs deep, right? So, yeah.
Well, Tribal Chiefs usually hosts an Indian residential school forum. So we bring together our folks from our Tribal Council region, but in addition, we open it to usually to Treaty 6.
Okay.
Treaty 7 or 8.
Right.
So we usually do it yearly.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I look forward to attending maybe your next one, I hope. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you betcha. All right. Anything else you want to bring up there, Dale? Or?
No, again, just a huge shout out to all the volunteers, to my colleagues that put in the extra hours to get this, and also to the Oilers Entertainment Group. The success of this really hinged on creating a safe space for the unhoused, and even if it's just for a few hours to get a hot meal, some fellowship, and so
that means a lot. It does, But I want to thank you, Dale, for sitting down and doing this little interview with me. It means a lot, and that.
No
Again,
problem.
hats off, and great job. That's all I can say. You guys are doing a good thing here. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. So hi there, cousin. I'm gonna call you cousin.
Sounds good.
Well, there you go, folks, from Dale Steiner himself. So now we'll go look for my niece Chantel, and we'll have a word with her. So again, thank you, Dale.
Yep.
Thanks. Tansi, folks. Sean McDonald, Métis Man here once again at this beautiful event here, and you all know my beautiful niece Chantel Cardinal. And she's the one that invited me out to Calgary last year. Now she invited myself and a Métis woman here, Cora, with me to Edmonton here. And Chantel, I want to again thank you again. And I told you before off camera, but I'm always so proud of what you achieved. And now this day here again, and I don't know what to say. I'm so proud of you in that. And
thank you.
Thank you for the invite.
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about the event, Chantel.
Sure. So it's an event put on by Tribal Chiefs. I am just so thankful and just so moved because they are doing this with no funding, first of all.
Wow.
So when they also attended my event in Calgary, so they volunteered and seen the need and seen the value and seen the good day that we created for people. So they wanted to recreate that event here in the city of Edmonton. So over the last few months, we've been discussing, and this event couldn't have happened without this facility that you see here, and that was all due to the Edmonton Oilers. So very thankful for the Edmonton Oilers group for willing to donate the space. And so we had to hustle and bustle to ensure that we met the timelines because this tent will be taken down. So we made it work. And really it's a thanks of the staff, the volunteers, all the agencies that you see out. So given the time frame that we had to work with, really we made it all kind of work, and I really thank them for the agencies because they worked under a really small time frame. And we had a total of 15 people from different agencies within the city of Edmonton that supported our event.
Really?
So behind the scenes, I talk about this could have been the first unhoused event that Tribal Chiefs hosted. However, it's not their first rodeo.
No way.
They've hosted many events before, so their staff, they knew what to do. They're very organized. They weren't afraid, and we just came in and made it happen. So I like to work under the premise of, let's create a good day.
Yep.
Everyone deserves to have a good day, no
Yes.
matter who you are,
Exactly.
where you come from. So we wanted to do that.
Yeah, we all have highs and lows in our lives, right? And but one thing you'll get a chuckle out of, last night I was telling Cora when we decided we're going to come, I said, dress warm. I said, last year I was at Calgary, I said, it wasn't that cold, Celsius-wise, but the wind was bad, I said, dress warm. So I got my long johns on, I got everything on. I didn't talk to you enough to get enough details off you to know what is inside, this beautiful tent. So yeah, we're pretty warm in here, it's nice.
Yes,
but,
it is.
Again, my hat's off to the Oilers for, supplying this venue.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful place.
And our chiefs of tribal chiefs, like they seen the need to support our people in the streets, the unhoused. So really, if it wasn't for them really pushing and driving this, this event forward and driving the meaning behind it, this wouldn't have happened without them and their relationship that they had working with the Edmonton Oilers.
Yes, thank you to the chiefs and all the First Nations involved, and to me, they're all close. Frog Lake's a little bit further south, but all the others are right around the Lac-Bush area. That's, our home turf, right?
Yeah.
So it's good to see that all happening,
Yeah.
And I was telling Dale, I said, I've been through a lot of events. I've hosted a lot of events, nothing like this. I want to do it in Lac-Bush, but anyway, I said nothing can happen, without three things. Your sponsors, of course, obviously, your volunteers,
Yes.
right, and people such as the Oilers and stuff like that, and just want to give, right, and help people. And to me, everybody, like you say, everybody deserves to have a good day, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they look at the native population, their drugs, and they don't want to work, blah blah blah. But where did that come from? We've all had bad times in our lives, right? And I go back to residential schools, how that affects generations.
Yes.
And the high unemployment rate, inflation, all of that, it all has to deal with people not working, can't afford to pay mortgage, got no place to go, no family, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, I got over my crutch almost 5 years ago now with alcohol. I wasn't nothing strange, but I know I didn't want to do life anymore, so I got over that. But not everybody is fortunate as that to be able to walk away, and some get stuck in a rut, and everybody deserves a hand up, a hand up. And that's what you guys are doing here and achieving that right here.
And also, there's a lot of unlearnings and relearnings that we all do at least for myself at these events.
Yep.
And I was reminded a few weeks ago was when I was working with an agency, and she said, well, Chantel, it's such a great idea, but I just want to acknowledge or do the teaching of our people don't want a handout.
Yes.
It's a gift.
Yes.
And so at these events, I'm constantly learning.
Yep.
And it's really for us to bring people that may have never been working frontline, and for us to have our way to give back.
Yeah. No, exactly. But yeah.
And as you could see, we were supposed to end our event at 2:30, but the lineup outside is very long, so we didn't want to turn people away.
Right.
So we are working again. Why Tim from the Edmonton Oilers came to chat with us, and they were willing to keep the doors open and to accommodate all of our people that weren't able to be here earlier.
Right. And to me, I know it's not about numbers, but I'm a businessman, I'm a numbers guy. I know last year in Calgary, I asked you at the end of the day, how many people went through, how many people did you help? And it was over 800. If you have a guesstimation what it might be here by the time it's over?
Yeah. Well, we've made 750 backpacks.
Really?
So that's how we will know by the end of the day how many backpacks are, and we're going through that pretty quickly now that people are here and lined up.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'd like to say that this is a success. We see the people and the value and people that are happy. You see that with the smile on their face, and this is not going to be a fix-all.
No.
But we're here to create a good day and make people feel special for the day and welcome.
And how do you I wanted to ask you last year, how do you get the word out to such an event when not everybody has a cell phone? Is it word of mouth or?
It is. So I don't know if you've seen the postcards that I had out.
No, I didn't see that.
There were some on the tables.
Okay.
So I worked with agencies. When I talked about the agencies are a big success of the event. So I reached out to all the agencies to invite them not only to our event, but to give access to the information.
Okay.
So we have a lot of people that work in the streets. So I gave these postcards to it, more like an invitation.
Yes.
So it's the people that are working on the streets that were able to deliver the postcards for us.
Yep.
I think for next time we would be more in tune with who those people are, and we'd like to create more partnerships in the future. And I think even today, some of our agencies went out into the streets this morning as well and kind of delivered some
really?
of those. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's where we're seeing from some of these people that we were chatting with,
Yes.
they only found out within the last hour or two because of word of mouth.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. You know,
Yeah.
the people go out and find more to bring in, right? And
Yep.
feed them and that, you know, it's great.
Yeah.
And, you know, it just, to me, it means so much to somebody in their shoes, you know, and to have such a warm meal and 'cause I was just telling Dale about kinship.
Yeah.
Being Native people,
Yeah.
it's all about kinship. You know, we love to sit down and talk and have tea, have some bannock and talk and have entertainment, you know, such Jared,
Yes.
you know, and Jared's a wonderful entertainer to have. And it just means so much, you know. Now it feels like a home atmosphere in here,
Yes.
right? You can feel the love, you can feel the joy, you can feel the happiness. You can see the happiness on their faces, right?
Yeah.
They're eating that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
again, it's feeling welcome.
it is.
Feeling welcome for the day, because typically they're not invited to certain spaces,
Yes.
so we wanted to create that safe environment today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I also just want to shout out the Indigenous businesses and the agencies that came out.
I was
today
going to
as
ask you
well.
next, you know, who do you want to shout out and thanks? So you go
So
ahead.
our security, they are a First Nation company that
Okay.
came out to support our event. But even just little bits that I try to create and bring forward when I do these events.
Yes.
So for example, I'm all about supporting Indigenous companies,
Yep.
of course First Nation companies. So we have a company that provided beef jerky.
Okay.
So we worked with them to purchase bulk. So in
Right.
each of the backpacks, we have essential items, plus we have dry meat for them.
Yes.
We also had bannock. Of course, that's a piece and element
Yes.
that we try to support, is having our own foods when we can.
Yes.
Our caterer, he is First Nations as well, and he also does his work on the streets.
TP treats.
Yes,
Yes.
TV treats, yeah.
Yeah.
So we try to support Indigenous business when we can. And the nice thing, and maybe I'm not sure if you talked to security already,
No.
but one individual that came in, and when security was chatting with them before entering the building, he had said, "Oh, you're First Nations too." So
Really?
it's that sense of comfort
Yes.
and that sense of belonging and that
Yes.
kinship, as you said. So,
Yeah, exactly. No, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you want to name all the organizations that? So please do, like everybody
I
involved
would
in
need my
that.
list. I don't want to name anyone without
Okay.
forgetting somebody.
Yeah, and that's fine. You can even send me that list if you want.
Oh,
and
yeah,
we can,
for sure.
Yeah,
That'd
put
be
it in the
amazing.
description of the
Yeah.
video and that, or even,
Yeah.
you know, do a picture of it and that and promote everybody because,
Awesome.
you know, definitely I know it's about promoting and that and promote the people that help, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you betcha. So any last words?
No, I'm
Chantel?
just thankful. My heart's full.
It
The
is.
staff here, like, they've done so much to make this happen, like staying till beyond the time frame
Yes.
that we're supposed to
Yes.
be. So shout out to our volunteers. Like I said, it's not their first rodeo in terms of
Yeah.
event planning. They
Yep.
know how to do this. They know how to be with our people. Of course, the Edmonton Oilers for renting out this facility. Or sorry,
Yes.
they didn't rent it out. They gave it to us for our
Wow.
event. So a big, huge thank you to the Edmonton Oilers and all the folks that just wanted to lend a helping hand. We have a lot of volunteers that don't work in this area,
Yep.
but wanted to donate their time.
Yes.
So I'm very thankful to them.
That's great.
Yeah, and of course our media that comes out to support and highlight our event. So thank you for
Oh,
for
you're
coming.
welcome. Thank you for the invite. But, you know, again, I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Everything you do. So thank you for the invite. Thank you very much. Yes. So there you go, folks, from the head organizer herself. You know, good job. And yeah, so we'll hopefully see you again at another
Yeah,
event
hopefully.
and that, and you give us a call.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
everybody. Kiksamaga. Everybody, Sean McDonald, Métis Man here. We're still at this great event here in Edmonton. And I got a special guest with me today, Mr. Tim Shipton with the Edmonton Oilers. So welcome, Tim.
Yeah, great to be here. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Fantastic.
And you know, I want to say I attended one of these events last year. My niece Chantel Cardinal, one of the organizers, she invited me there, and it was so cold. It was outside. It was windy and all that.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful to have it indoors like this for the people. And when I pulled up here, I didn't know all the details, and I was wondering, you know, did the First Nations, did they rent the place? Did they, you know? And then lo and behold, Edmonton Oilers donated it, and that's
right.
Tell me a little bit about that, please, and how that come about, Tim, if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's been a journey with Chantel and Deb from Tribal Chiefs, and also Chief Greg Desjardins. They came to us a few months ago asking about a unique opportunity to host a special event here in Ice District, and that's, you know, what we're known for, is bringing people together into our spaces.
Yes.
Take care of them, you know, have have different events where we can bring people together.
Yep.
This one was unique in that they wanted to bring some of the homeless population and unsheltered population in downtown Edmonton together to provide those vital services that people need. And we learned a lot along the way that a significant number of those unhoused are of Indigenous descent.
Yes.
And so it's very important to the tribal chiefs and others that we do it. So lots of conversations about how we could make it happen. And ultimately we came to a place of partnership. We came to a place where we could work together.
Right.
Operating on a budget, of course, these events, coming together, we said, what could we do?
Right.
And donating the tent and providing some services was really, we felt, one of the least things that we could do to bring the event together. So it's been very exciting for us to be a part of this.
Yes.
I think for us having a big operational footprint in downtown Edmonton, that we know that our friends and neighbors, some are not as fortunate as us. Some folks need some help.
Yeah.
So for us to be a small part of this event, very important to us.
Oh, that's awesome. No, I appreciate that, and I'm a big Oilers fan all my life, right?
Yeah.
To show my age, I grew up in the Boys on the Bus era, right?
That's a great era.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we're trying to get back there,
I hope
we've come this close, but
I hope so. I lived in the woods for a while, and they would come practice at the J. Percy Page. There's a rink over there, right?
That's right. Yeah.
I used to go watch them there, and I remember I was young, right? And Mark Messier come out of practice, and he had his ripped up jeans, and I looked up at him. Can I get your autograph? And I lost it. I had him. I had Wayne Gretzky, and I lost it. But just such a great area, right? That fabulous team.
Yeah, and those guys were so good in the community, and they really laid the foundation for how our organization operates. Very fortunate to play here in Edmonton, to have our business in Edmonton. We get so much support from the community.
Okay.
For us to give back in small ways is very important.
It is. No, I like that. And one thing I noticed too about the Edmonton Oilers, you have a lot of involvement with the Indigenous people, our ways of life, and stuff like that. The translation of the play-by-plays and Cree and stuff like that. Tell me a little bit more about that stuff, Tim.
It's been a journey on that front. Our understanding of how much support that we get in the Indigenous community. We know that all across oil country, we've got support in so many different nations and so many different members of the community. It really started, at least for me personally, 13, 14 years ago now with Chief Willie Littlechild.
Okay.
And Chief obviously was a great hockey player himself, was a member of our organization through being a board member of the Community Foundation.
Right.
And at the time of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada, the events that they were hosting across Canada, the final event was here in Edmonton. And Chief Willie came to us and said, you know what? We have an opportunity to do something special and show the relationship and the respect that the Oilers organization has for the Indigenous community and fans. And so we hosted the first celebration of Indigenous hockey at a National Hockey League event in conjunction with the TRC event.
Really?
And that really, I think, kick-started the relationship. Over the years, we've hosted many, many different celebrations at the Coliseum and now at Rogers Place.
Right.
We've participated in so many different grassroots hockey events, gotten equipment to different Indigenous communities, and the list goes on and on. The point is, right from day one, we needed the relationship to be authentic.
Yes.
What we didn't want to do was have a big night, and pat ourselves
One
on
night,
the back,
and then it's over,
and then
with.
forget about it.
Yeah.
And so we've tried to walk the talk. I mean, you can always get better, but it's been incredibly rewarding for all of us to learn more about the really, diverse and rich culture that we have in our communities.
Right.
Learn more about, in small ways, how we can work together. And again, it kind of comes full circle to an event like today where we can use our facilities for something good. And it really, again, opening up our venues and providing a place for people to have a meal, to get some of the services that they need. it's really not that hard of us to do. So we continue to try to do good in the community and learn along the way.
No, most definitely.
Yeah.
And I want to let people know out there that they wonder why I'm a huge Oilers fan. Well, there you go. Now you know why. Yeah, but no, Tim, this is great to see, and the Oilers involved like this, like this is right at home, and like you say, there's many Indigenous people in Edmonton, and I know that all the Indigenous people that I know, the major factor of them are Oilers fans, you know what I mean? Most definitely,
exactly.
right? You can see it on the license plates and everything, our vehicles and everything, Oh, that's good to see. And I want to thank you again personally for, the Oilers doing this and helping host this and that. It's great to see. So
Yeah, it's, as I said, it's something it's important for us to do. We're going to continue to do it. It's a part of our community. We know that pride and passion that exists within the Indigenous community. To me, it's great to look out across the crowd at Rogers Place and see so many Indigenous fans cheering the team on. And again, it's from our side of the equation, what are the things that we can do to make our community a better place?
Exactly.
That's what it's all about.
And and like you said, you were touched a bit about that. People, some people like to talk and say, well, we're going to do this and do that, but if it's all talk and no action, then it gets you nowhere, like you said, right?
Yeah, you got it. And it's, you know what? It doesn't always have to be grand gestures. No. It just has to be being there and helping out when asked, and just being a positive force in the community.
It is.
Yeah.
And you can see how many hundreds of people, you guys helped out today, and a warm meal and a warm place to stay for a while, and
that's right.
And visit and just, bring them up, to our, to feel like they're needed, they're wanted, and somebody to talk to that, and it's great to see. So
that's right.
Appreciate it, Tim. So
any
last words you have for?
Well, thank you for the interview, and hey, thanks for being a fan. And
for sure.
Next time I see Mark Messi, I gotta get him. Get him to sign something.
Tell him the Métis man had your autograph.
Métis man had it and he lost it, so that's on my to-do list.
Well, I appreciate it, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
so there you go, folks. And again, thanks to Tim and the Edmonton Oilers here. Such an awesome job helping out and donating this beautiful space here, warm space. So again, thank you, Edmonton Oilers, and thank you, Tim.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim. All right.
Perfect timing.
Yes, exactly.
Tansi Kiowau. My name is Cora Ladisher. I'm here today again coming to you from the heart, put on by Tribal Chiefs Ventures Incorporated. And I'm here today with Miss Donna Rubiard. She is here. She's a Métis artist. She's going to share a little bit about her story and her journey throughout her lifetime as an Indigenous woman and what she's faced. So to start it off, I'd like you to introduce yourself, Donna. Tell us a little bit more.
Hello, I'm Donna Rubiard, and I'm from Saskatchewan, the Marine City. I left when I was 9 years old, so I lived in Edmonton since I was 9 years old. So Edmonton is like my home right now, and my parents were alcoholics and that, and I went through a rough life, foster homes and all that stuff, and abuse and sex abuse and all that. And then when I was like 17 or so, I ran away, and I was living on the streets for 8 or 9 years due to drugs and alcohol, and I didn't make it for 3 times, and the fourth time was a wake up. So I prayed to the Creator for guidance to help me through. So when I was homeless, the Boyle Street Co-op, I went there a lot of times through the drop-in, and they helped me with a lot of, to get my ID and to get my life together, and help me with treatment and a lot of other things. And they had workshops there, and get to know other people that's still struggling through drugs and alcohol like me, and and it felt good, and to know other people and to get help from them, so now I am taking 17 years sobriety next month, and I'll be 58 next month, and I got 8 grandkids and 3 children. And I tried my best to support them. My daughter taught me how to do the beadwork, and I did workshops. I do a lot of speaking now, and all the money goes towards more supplies or to help out my daughter with her 3 children, because she's a single mother. And You know, I'm just so blessed for where I came from and where I am today, and to meet a lot of people and have places like this to help the homeless, and you know, for me to talk to them and hug them, you know, give them kindness. Yeah. I also sponsor people out, and you know, so my life is pretty good right now. There's some times when I struggle and all that, but I always pray and pick up a phone for people I know that I can trust to talk to and have some support. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you've come such a long way, Donna.
Yes.
And my heart goes out to you for going through all that for your whole entire lifetime. There's always a story behind everybody that's out here facing and battling what they're battling every day. I know that there's a lot of trauma, a lot of different backgrounds that come from it. Our Indigenous way, we're all the same. We are all, our traditional teachings are of love. And just to speak to that, for traditional teachings, Donna, what do you think is most helpful for our people that are facing homelessness on the street?
Well, they look at me because they know me from the streets where I was before and where I am today, and they're really happy and blessed where I am, how far I came in my life, you know, and struggled, you know, to get it back. And you know, I'm not better than anybody else. I'm just, you know, did it for myself and my family.
Definitely.
And I have a big heart for all those other ones still struggling and dying out there.
And it's good for you to go out there and do that. You have such a big heart, and I can see that. Just tell by talking to you here briefly, Donna. I just met her today. She came and approached us, Métis Man Media, when we were interviewing, and showed us some of her beautiful and amazing artwork. That's how she saw it and found her healing as well. So with her having the lived experience that she has, I think that is really key in helping the people that are out here, because you have that clear understanding of what they're going through. So coming from it, living through it, and overcoming it to become who you are today and having healed so well is such an inspiration to see. And we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Yes.
And to share your story, just a little bit of a glimpse into her lifestyle. Of course, all her experiences and stuff will never know the full extent of what she had to go through, but we are very honored and glad to have her here today to help us and to show us that there is hope, that there is love out there, and she's one of the examples of love out there to all their brothers and sisters out there. So any final words, anything you want to share with us before we sign off?
There's no hate or anything out there. There's always love out there. These people need to be showed as they're loved, you know, because they think that nobody loves them or anything. They're going through a lot too, you know, family or friends or relationships or, you know, anything like that. And they just need to be loved, know that they're to be loved and, you know, cared for, you know.
Yeah. That's the biggest way that we can help them, and to show that you care and that you love for them. And that's, like I mentioned before, traditionally that's our Indigenous way. Our Indigenous way is to guide with love, to care for others, to support each other, and that's what we're seeing here today. So if you would like to show us some of your beautiful work, you can do so, Donna. She's created some of her poppies here.
I got poppies here.
And you can speak to that as well. I didn't ask you about this pin. This is very significant.
2 years ago, on May 5th, 2023, I lost my late daughter and my granddaughter. They got murdered in Mill Woods 2 years ago on the Red Dress Day. So I wear this button all the time, and you know, and I got my pin here for showing that I do workshops and public speaking about my story. I do ribbon skirts, and I do lots of other different things. So if you would like to look me up, I'm on Kokum Donna's Creations.
So that's on social media sites and on
Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, follow her or find her on social media, and she does take orders from her home. She's home-based. And of course, all of this beautiful creation she makes comes with her own personal healing and her personal touch. So very beautiful to see, and thank you for your time, Donna.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And taking your time today. So, Samaga, we're done for today.
Thank you.
Hi everybody, it's Sean McDonald, Métis Man here. And today I'm here in Edmonton today with my good old friend, Mr. Jared Lee. And if you remember Jared, he was actually in the Calgary video. He played a song specifically for us, and then we caught him on stage here as well for the homeless event that was there. So welcome again, Jared.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And tell me a little bit about the event and what it means to you, Jared.
The event is kind of like the same thing we did in Calgary. We're helping our most vulnerable people, the ones that are on the street. I know it's going to get cold here. It is November, and our winters in Alberta, they're very relentless. So we want to get people, all the help and all the services they need before winter comes. And once minus 30 comes, we don't want to have anybody pass away because of the cold. So what we did is we got some backpacks for everybody. We got them some nice food from TP Treats. A great meal was put on by Mr. Cardinal, and he had the old bannock and
chili. Yes, that
chili
was good.
And bannock.
Yes.
I was going to say soup, but
yeah.
Chili and bannock. So we got backpacks for all the people that are out there and surviving the elements. We got tons of things from all the toiletries they need. They got some sweaters, food, pemmican as well. So I want to thank Mitza for providing all those.
Yep.
And Tribal Chiefs, they put on Tribal Ventures, put on a great event here, and also Ice District, the Oilers. I'm a big fan being in this building. I've never played here before, but this is my first time playing in this venue right here. So it's an absolute honor to be playing and entertaining for everybody.
Exactly.
And it's our people are needing some help right now. They're going through a rough time.
Yes.
And we see it growing up here. I never seen this amount of people without a home.
Yep.
And it just feels good to give back and entertain everybody and make sure they have a good day.
Yeah.
Because they rarely get a good day. So with good music, good food, they have they got clothing, they got a backpack, they got some hope, and also the services. A lot of services came out.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of help for people out there. So it's just a matter of reaching out and helping one another.
Yeah, exactly. And I know we kind of talked about this the last time I interviewed you in Calgary there. About people, and we all have our ups and downs in life.
Yeah.
And we all overcome. Not all of us. Most of us do overcome issues that we've had, and I probably say I've given up alcohol, coming on 5 years now, right? So that was my crutch, and now, I don't smoke cigarettes or nothing like that. I'm free of everything, right? Mm-hmm. But we all overcome that, and some of our brothers and sisters, haven't overcome that yet, and some of us try and that. But talk maybe a little bit about that self, how it affects people in that, and what people can do to, educate themselves about why our people. Some of us are down on the luck or whatever, right? So
yeah, I've had a lot of run-ins with near-death experiences and getting into the wrong car at the wrong time, hanging out with people that do drugs and maybe under the influence. So for me, when I worked on the rigs, it was almost every day's off.
Yep.
And you work hard, you play hard, but then you also want to be safe. So I got introduced to drugs when I was in my 20s.
Okay.
And I've tried a few different things, but I didn't really like it. So I've been sober off of tobacco and chew and any substances for about 13 years now.
Good to do.
And I think I'm going on 6 years, 6 months, and a couple of days. No alcohol. So I quit during my wedding. I went out the night before and had a few with the guys, and, like how an actual stag was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And during my wedding, I think I had a glass of champagne just to toast.
Really?
So it's been a long journey, and some of the things that helped me through going through, I guess, my pain, because we all carry something.
Yes.
And I don't know of anybody that wasn't abused through physical, mental, sexual, spiritual abuse.
Yes.
I know of everyone that's been abused. And, growing up with that in my life, I found that I had to forgive the person and the people who trespassed against me, like the old saying goes.
Yep.
And then forgive myself for the harm I may have caused other people when I was under the influence.
Yeah.
And then just trying to lead a good life from here. And no, I'm not better than anybody else. I mean, I've been in rough places, been in places that could have taken my life.
Yep.
And I'm grateful that I have culture in my life and spirituality and good outlets. Like I play hockey still.
Yep.
I didn't give up on the game. The game is always going to be there for me. Having good friends and people to talk to, and then just being honest with myself and realizing I need help.
Yep.
It's easy to be hard on yourself.
Yeah.
But if you're going to beat yourself up, use the feather. And then once you take it one day at a time, and for me it was I quit cigarettes, and that was hard. I did it for a day, and then a week, and then a month, and then 60 days, and then 90 days comes around, and then it's easy. It's a habit. But if I didn't have, I had to deal with my pain too.
Yeah.
So that's like going to counseling, talking to somebody, talking to God, talking to your career, talking to friends.
Yeah.
And the biggest part is talking to yourself.
Exactly.
Telling yourself, hey, listen, right now I'm not okay. And this last month of October, I wasn't okay.
Yeah.
I went through some stuff that I don't wish upon anybody.
Yeah.
I'm still grieving from the loss of some friends and family.
Yeah.
Losing a lot of my buddies to overdoses. And it's stuff that's preventable. We didn't have these trials we had growing up.
No.
And I think the drugs are getting a lot harder for people to get off because they're really highly addictive.
Yes.
I mean, I couldn't imagine, like when I was addicted to cigarettes and, I've tried cocaine, I was addicted to that. That was hard to get off. That was so hard. And when I started chasing that high, I looked at myself in the mirror, I didn't recognize myself. When you stay up for 4 days, and you get to watch the sunrise for 4 days and you start to become a zombie, I couldn't imagine what people are like on some of these harder drugs. So I had to be honest with myself and realize this is powerful. It's way more powerful than, and I gave into it and I said, listen, it's going to beat me if I don't keep going. If I don't do something about it right now, it's going to kill me. So I quit. 13 years ago, I ran into some drug dealers and running around with the wrong people in the wrong crowd. But I think music and hockey and just being honest with myself got me to kind of where I'm at today.
Yeah, no, good for you. And like what you said there, if you're going to beat yourself up, use a feather.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. And especially men, we're so hard on ourselves.
All the time.
Our head and what we think is our worst enemy.
Yeah.
Right. We think people around are hard on us, but with myself, anyway, I can say, I'm the one that's hardest on me most, right? And sometimes you can go way overboard and take things to extreme, right? So I like what you said there. I really do.
Yeah. I think that what other people say about us, like people talk a lot about me in a good way and in a bad way, but there isn't something anybody can ever say about me that I never said to myself.
Yes.
If people say, oh, your music sucks, you don't think I don't know that? I've said that to myself a million times.
Yeah.
And you don't think that I'm not good enough? That's the struggle I tell myself every day is like, am I good enough? Am I worthy? Now it's at that point where I'm kind of letting it roll off my back, like, water off a duck's back.
Well, your music sucks so much. You're playing in the Oilers venue, so you're doing something.
Playing all over the world, so that's the thing is my music's being heard, and it's a mindset. It's with men's health, it's a tough thing being a man that's under the spotlight.
Yeah.
Being under the microscope all the time is that people expect you to be perfect, and it's not going to happen. With me, I get mad.
Yeah.
I get angry. I get upset. I lash back at people. I talk back, and sometimes I don't take things from people, but I don't let them take my pride.
Yeah.
I don't let them take all my hard work because I've gotten this far in life based on hard work, grit, determination, and having a good mindset. So why would I let somebody bring me down, kind of deal? And maybe they're going through a rough time. So people have to realize this, is that no matter how much they talk bad about me, I'm doing this for them too.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Trying to make them
and
proud.
Yourself, like me, we're one cigarette away, we're one beer away, we're one day away, or could potentially be from joining our brothers and sisters on the streets. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. Like you say addictions are so addictive nowadays that the drugs they have are so different than what we grew up on, and it's so easy to fall into that, right? But it's even tougher to get out. So, I commend you, Jared, and what you do here, and attending here and that, and you're here again with the same time as I am and that. So it speaks volumes. So I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you again in the future.
Most definitely. Yeah. So thank you very much, your brother. I appreciate it. All right, there you go, folks. Mr. Jared Lee. It's beautiful music here, putting out and performing for the people here. So there we go, folks. So next time out, we're going to wrap up here and head home. So we'll see you then. Thanks then. big tent where everything was in. Thank you, Edmonton Oilers. Okay, here we are now, leaving Rogers. You can see all of brothers and sisters on the street here. I don't know what building this is here. Let us huddling up, keeping warm. And then they got tents like this with all their belongings right there with them. It's sad to see.
To see them trying to keep warm in such a cold day.
And it's not even winter yet, so. Well, folks, there you have it. It was a good day. It was a cooler day, but thanks to the Edmonton Oilers, we had a nice warm day inside the big tent there, the covered tent. Good food for sure by TP Treats. Nice hot bowl of chili and some good bannock, like Mr.
Really
Manda was from bannock. Holy. And go ahead, pardon. Sorry, traffic. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, good food, good entertainment with Jared Lee there again. It's good to see Jared there like I did last year in Calgary. And of course, my pretty niece Chantel. She always does such a good job. I'm so proud of everything she does to help our people out. And yeah, any last thoughts with you there, Miss Métis woman?
I'm just glad that they had access to that heated tent, the big building. It was quite large, and it housed everybody, all the agencies that were there to help, all the people that came through, all the people off the streets. Our brothers and sisters were in there. They got a nice hot bowl of food, and they got clothing and stuff they were giving out, I see, and some backpacks to toiletries and necessities. And they even had the TCVI nations helping out with the status cards. So one of the biggest barriers to anything for them is lack of ID, proper ID, and government ID is what they need to access any kind of service, even to get a healthcare card so they can access healthcare services and stuff. So it was good to see and heartwarming to see the people there getting some assistance just for today. The only thing we try to speak to more of them, a lot of them are reluctant to come in and speak because of what they're facing here in the city. The reality is that they're being pushed out of what little places and spaces that they have. They're being pushed out in a very violent way, according to some of the people that we spoke to. And I don't think it's fair or right that they are shoved out of spaces. They've been continually shoved out of spaces once that development happened downtown. But it's even worse now where they don't even feel safe themselves. And to be homeless plus feeling unsafe again and not having anywhere and not knowing where you're going to end up is even worse. So to me, that really was heartbreaking to hear from them how they have to really tread carefully, and how people in authority, government levels and stuff are not doing their part to help. So it's a bit of a touchy and controversial subject, but it's the reality, and that's the reality that they have to face that not everybody sees. So to me, that was one of the most impactful moments that I had in speaking to them today.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up there, because it's a different feeling or atmosphere than what Calgary was when I was down there.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty well almost anybody asked to interview, they would happily accept, and which I did.
But in Edmonton here, like you say, they were scared. Like a lot of them were terrified to be on camera, and because they were threatened that. And just so you all know, we did speak to one person there, no names or whatever were being mentioned, but looks like we're going to try and line up an interview with a few of them that were in attendance to speak about the issues that are having with the Edmonton Police Service and the city of Edmonton itself. And there has been a lot of violence happening towards our people, brothers and sisters that are on the street, and that's not good. So and people all know, with Métis Man Media, we're not scared to touch any subjects that the mainstream media are either scared to touch, or they don't get, and they don't want to touch it, and they don't want to put it out there, right? They just want to sweep it under the carpet. So something like that is something that we want to talk about and bring to light. It was a very good day, and again, thank you to Tribal Chiefs Venture Incorporated there, and my niece Chantel, and all the organizers and volunteers and sponsors, everybody that was there. It was great to see. So tell me what you thought your first time attending one like that. What were your impressions?
I thought it was really well organized. So like to Chantel, she did an amazing job, and I did communicate that with her, taking on the role that she did to put this on and have all the agencies there where they could come in where there was housing, employment, just access to the healthcare and uninsured health benefits. I saw them having a place set up there, booth set up there. So it was kind of like an all-around wraparound services, giving them their backpacks and necessities that they needed, as well as their ID and their food. So connecting them even more so in a good way, in a positive way, having music there where our music is healing to our people, and it's healing to all people, but specifically Indigenous, we have a connection to our music. So having that there as well, it just kind of was, to me, it felt good. I had spoke to a couple of elders there that were doing the smudge as well, and just saying that people were drawn to the smudge. There's so many people there that need healing, and then it made me realize how many of them don't have access or don't have that ability to do that regularly, to practice their culture, because they're just trying to survive. So they're living in survival mode, and the elders told me they feel that pain. They felt the pain of everybody coming in, the ones that were coming in to smudge with them and talk to them. So it was nice to see this specifically put on for our people and by our people.
Yes. No, I agree. And like the elder said, and even when we walked in there, the first thing you can smell was the beautiful aroma of the smudge, and like you say, you're just drawn to it when that's in your blood. You're just drawn to something like that. It's good to see. But other than that, it was a good day. And when I was in Calgary there with one of the organizers, the CIO, I believe it was, he says today's a good day to have a good day. So, and everybody does deserve that.
They do.
No matter what walk of life or whatever trials you're going through, we all deserve to have a good day. And thanks to all the people there to organize all that. Hundreds of people had a good day today. Probably a great day for them. Even if it's, like one day out of the year or whatever it is for what's going to happen, because I know that's their inaugural event they had there, the first ones, and hopefully we see many more, and hopefully we're able to attend as well and capture that. So I know there's talk of coming to smaller communities in the north to do the same, smaller venues like that, smaller events like that. And that would be great, because this happening all over, not just in the big urban centers, but smaller towns as well. And that's what everybody needs, a help and a hand up. Yeah. So I guess that about does it. And
That's it for us for today.
I want to thank you all for joining in. And one big thing for us is, we do so many videos that are pro bono. Well, that got dark quick. Going through a tunnel. We do so many videos that are pro bono. So we pay out a pocket, we take time off to come do something like this. But it's something that I started off being very passionate about, but now my woman Cora here is just as passionate as me in doing that and helping our people out. So the one way you can support us in this channel is simply by subscribing to YouTube. It doesn't cost you a red cent. You just set up an account. It's a free account, and you just simply subscribe with your email and that, and you click the little bell icon on there, and you'll get notified when we have new videos coming out or go live when we start going live. And there's a threshold that we need to reach, which is 1,000 subscribers. And then we start making a few pennies on whatever ads that are run on our videos, which will help with, gas or whatever it is, buy us a cup of coffee, whatever, something like that. So that's how you can return the support, and favor us as well with the channels. Appreciate that as well. So there you have it again from the Métis man and the Métis woman now here. And we're going to make our way out of Edmonton here and get some vittles and head home. But thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next episode of Métis Man. Simaga kinas kuntin. Awa.
Simaga Mustas.
Thanks everybody for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Simaga.